Well, hello everyone. How's everybody doing today? Let me turn up that music a bit so everybody can hear. So let's wait for some more people to come in. Is my chat overlay working? Just quickly check that. Oh, there we go. Oh, that is, whoops, really professional. There we go. There's the chat. Cool. So, how's everybody doing today? Let's hope for a good stream without dropping frames. That'd be nice. I'm just fixing some stuff before we get on with the actual stream. Let's wait for some more people to come in to enjoy our beautiful programming. Just turn down that light. Ooh. That's better. Awesome. Cool. So let's see. I need to quickly fix a dependency thing. I don't know. So, I haven't done a stream in a while. It's good to be back. To finally get the ball rolling again. Woo! What's up, Dev? Hey, Norbert. Good to see you back again. So we're going to be covering a lot of ground today, I think. Some Firebase stuff and yeah, just some modeling, database, cloud functions probably as well. So get hype, y'all. Okay, let's see if this works. I know that I have the Chrome page up right now. Let me just change that to this, because that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm having some import issues with Firebase, but I'm just checking if I can fix those before we actually start. That'd be nice. Got my trusty bottle of Coke. Back at it again. I've actually done some preparations this time as well, just to have a bit more of a managed stream, so I'll never be like, hey, I have no clue what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna do this, and then we don't have enough time, or shit doesn't work out. So let's hope that that this all is going well. There we go. PulseMe. Cool. So, I think I have everything ready. Cool. So, cool. So welcome everybody. Welcome to another live stream of GenericTyping. I'm Udo Meyer, your host, since forever. Don't have anybody working for me right now. Wouldn't want to, actually. So today we're going to start a new app. PostText was fun as a first experiment, but it had some problems with the way that I was doing the stream, and so I wanted to start fresh. And yesterday, me and a couple of other guys were thinking of making an app. Somebody else actually, and then I was like, hey, that would make a great generic typing stream. So that's what we're going to start today. We're going to do an application called PulseMe. So again, if you want to follow along, just watch these streams. And also, if you want to find the source codes for this, well, it's this what you're looking at, GenericTyping/PulseMe. You can always find the project that I'm working on at every time in the banner at the top right, where it says /GenericTyping/ and then the project name. In this case, it's PulseMe. Cool. So what PulseMe will be is an application that allows you to, with the press of a button, send a notification to somebody else. It's like a really simple messaging app, but you don't really send messages. It's just more like, hey, I need you for a second, right? So it's supposed to be really simple. I had this idea like 2 years back. I'm not sure what I called it back then, but it was basically like all these messaging apps allow you to send messages, but if you just want to get somebody's attention or ask them to come online or to say something or join a meeting, then it's usually just multiple steps, right? For example, in WhatsApp, you have to go into WhatsApp and then click on the actual user and then make a message that they have to respond to and then stuff like that. So this will be a really simple app that will just, if on the press of a button, somebody else will get a notification that says, hey, this person wants to meet you on Zoom. And then maybe later we could add like a, for example, if you click on a user and then, oh, I want for them to be on Skype, then you can put in like the group name or something like that. Maybe have a couple of options, stuff like that. So again, all the source code you can find at GenericTyping/PulseMe on GitHub. And I've just set up like a basic project in VS Code as well as in Firebase. So what we're going to be doing today is actually we're going to cover quite a lot of ground, as I've said before. So let's see. Can I have a bunch of notes here, and I want to actually make it clear for myself what I have done. Ah, there we go. That's good enough. Maybe I can do. Nope. Okay. Cool. So. The packages we are going to use. So today I'm going to focus on the models and the database side of things, and later we'll do some UI and stuff. But let's keep it to the actual data for now. But the couple of packages that I did want to point out is two of them, and that brings me to Flutter Community. So Flutter Community is, as of now, a new GitHub repo as well as a like a place on Pub, on the Dart Pub package manager. So Flutter Community, as you can read, is a central place for all community-made Flutter packages. I'm a moderator and one of the owner creators of, together with two other people. Dev Angels is actually one of the people that or like the main guy that came up with the concept. So good work on you, Dev. So the idea of Flutter Community is to have one central place for community-made packages with the goal that they will keep being maintained and not like if they lose their owner or their owner doesn't have interest in the package anymore, then they will be assigned another maintainer will be assigned to that package, so it keeps getting updated and getting better. And if Flutter comes out with a few breaking changes that will break some of those packages, then a new maintainer can make changes to these Flutter community packages that will make them work again for the new version of Flutter. So that's the main idea. And we already got a couple of packages in here, so this is just a thing. If you want to submit your own packages, you can. Just make your package, and we'll have some guidelines up in a short while. But just make your package, add a bunch of info. You can read it all at github.com/FlutterCommunity/community. That last one is the actual repo. These are the packages we already have. I'm really happy with the people that have come on board to kind of start this up, right? The package that I wanted to use later on for the UI is a draggable scroll bar. Now this is a package made by Marina Kuznetsova. I will probably pronounce that wrong, so my apologies. And this is a really cool package right here. So it basically, as you can see in the GIF, once you scroll, it shows you like a little thing you can grab, a semicircle in this case, that allows you to quickly scroll through a list. And she's made a bunch of examples and stuff, and I think it's just a great package overall. And she also currently working on other packages. I think I may have heard that wrong, but yeah, it's really cool that she was up for it to put this on Flutter community. So yeah, if you want some good community-made packages, then definitely check Flutter community out. So we're going to be using draggable scrollbar later on when we're going to do the UI. Currently, we're just going to focus on the modeling again. So for the modeling, I'm going to use Firebase. Now, a short introduction to what Firebase is. Basically, Firebase is an entire package of SDKs and APIs, or I guess that Firebase is the SDK and it has a bunch of APIs, a bunch of modules that you can use to make app development really convenient and a lot less of a struggle. I really love it. Google has been pushing it as well, which I get. Because, well, I find it really great. Not getting paid or anything. I have like, what's it? Like 56 followers. So I wish I gotten paid by Google. But no, it's just a bunch of packages. So you can make sure like you can put in authentication and then authenticating with either. So let's see. Let's get a bunch of setup methods. So you can, like with the click of a button, basically make sure that people can log in with an email password, with their phone number, Google Play, Facebook, Twitter, GitHub, and anonymously, which is also really cool, by the way. That anonymous feature is really nice. So yeah, it has authentication, it has database, which I use really often since it's really easy to set up. And then it has storage for just storing stuff about users, for example, and then hosting to host your own websites or whatever functions. And then there is Cloud Functions as well, which allows you to run pieces of code on Google servers. So that have like a ridiculously fast connection to the internet and are just fast in general. What we're going to be doing as well is, so Cloud Functions allows you to set up triggers for something that happens in your database. So for example, for an app recently, we had to make sure that whenever a user prompts to delete their account in the app, that a Cloud Function would fire off that would scan the entire database for records that contain their user ID, and then delete them as well, and then go to the authentication and delete that user, the record in there of that user as well. We had to do this for GDPR compliancy, right, with the privacy stuff. So yeah, I made that happen, and it's really nice. It's really easy to write in. It's all mostly it's just Node.js, but you can use a couple of other languages as well. So what we're going to be using for Firebase today is the database and the functions. Now first I wanted to go over the database structure that I currently have set up. I haven't set up everything. I wanted to do part of it together. Either that or I didn't take the time to actually make the complete thing. But hey, now we can do it together. So that's really cool. Also, whenever you follow, and this is kind of yeah, it's typical for streamers to do, but whenever you do follow, it shows up in the bottom left where the GenericTyping logo is. So yeah, and it also does it in monospaced like font in Vera code. So I really like that. Let me actually just to show you what I'm talking about. Let's just really quickly get a example follow set up. So let's see. So whenever you follow, it should look something like this, with the sound effect and everything. Now I hear the sound effect way louder than you may, but yeah, that's it. So it says GenericTyping live since that's a test thing. So whenever you do follow, you'll be in the video forever. So have fun with smashing that follow button. JK. So let's see. So the structure that we're gonna have with PulseMe is, I thought of it like the following. So my idea was, if you have a certain user, right, like a general user, and you can see here the fields that it has, and they're gonna have a couple of services. They can just say, oh yes, I use WhatsApp, oh yes, I use Zoom, and yes, I use Slack, stuff like that. And then each of those users is in one group. And that group has a bunch of users in it, right? So every group can have an ID or a sign-up code that you can share, and then everybody can enter that group. Just fill in their details, enter that group, and then you see on your device you can see everyone within that group. So that's going to be the idea for today. Now I have made a test user already, but I haven't made the groups collection yet. if you want to know more about this type of database, the Cloud Firestore, as it's called, just look up a bunch of tutorials online. Cloud Firestore is really easy to grasp, especially if you already have experience with document databases, right? So like JSON databases, for example, with MongoDB is one of them. This is kind of like them, kind of like that, but it's still a bit different. And I like the changes that they have made in comparison to a document database. Now, if you don't have experience with document databases and only relational data models and stuff like that, so for example, MySQL, any SQL or SQL, I say SQL, sue me, or any SQL database that's relational, so that's set up into tables, right? You kind of have to let that idea that there's a schema, you kind of have to let that go. I had a really hard time just getting like rid of the idea that everything is nicely divided into tables and every record has like the same fields. But this allows you to be more flexible, but you also have to kind of be careful that you don't just put random stuff in here, right? So because we don't have a schema, I can just add a field here that says hi there, and that's going to be, what's that going to be, like oh, we can make it null if we want to, but we can make it a number and then make it like 14, and nothing will complain that we added a number called hi there with value 14, because there is no schema. Now, what you can do is set up what's called security rules, and that allows you to control what data is coming in, and if whatever data is coming in is coming from a user that's already logged in, or just somebody like that's not logged in, you can basically set it up so you have some form of security in your record, so only the people that need to access it can. And then you can set up if they can read or write or not. And you can also, if you do want to have kind of a schema thing going on, you can also make sure that every record that comes in has all the fields that you require it to have. So I could make a security rule that says there needs to be a first name, a group, a last name, status, and these three, right? So that way, actually, let me, no, this is fine. So that way you can still kind of enforce the fields that need to be inside of your database. So whatever is coming in, you can filter that out. I don't use it for that. I just, like, I manage my code well enough, I believe, to make sure that I don't put random shit in there and then confuse myself. Also, a really nice thing about Firebase, last thing I'm gonna say about them as if I'm sponsored. I'm not again. But it's serverless, which basically means I don't have to set up a server. I just make a new project, download the file that has my API key in it and stuff, and then put it in my project, and then I can use my code without setting up my own CRUD and my database class and stuff like that. It's just all there for me without spinning up my own server with Ubuntu, whatever. I just download the file, the config, and that's it. So I really like that. So we have set up the, let's see. We have set up a user's record already. So this is an example record. Let me just get rid of that hi there. We don't need that. So this is my structure in my head. So you have a user with a couple of fields, right? First name, last name, a status, which basically indicates if they're online, offline, or away, stuff like that, or do not disturb. And then whether they use Slack, WhatsApp, or Zoom, or all of them, or any combination of them. And then they are assigned to this group, right? So this group has a couple of users in it, and everyone within that group is displayed on your screen, and those people you can pulse. That's the verb I'm going to use. You can pulse people. So let's make that groups collection real quick. So this is going to be test group for now. Later we're going to auto-generate those IDs just to be safe. So this group name can be called whatever, the generic type. Generic typers, I like that. Let me just quickly check chat and stuff. Okay, wrong. Cool. So we have generic typers, and we could. So this, if you look at like the auto-generated ID, right? This is just a whole bunch of characters. So I say let's put a something like a share link, I guess. How would you call that? Something like a. It's not an ID because that's this already. Or yeah, let's just make this the idea that you share with people, right? So everybody that's in test group can, everybody that fills in test group when they are joining a Pulse group, they will be joined to this list. So this is going to be the current members. And so this will be a reference. So I'll just quickly put in a field here. Now, do we want like another field in here? Oh, this is going to be title, of course. A title or name? Just name. And then we have a members array, and these are going to be references to the documents that point to the users that are a member of this. And then let's see. We have name, members. Maybe we can have an image for the group, right? Let's just put it in there and not use it for now. So let's see. Image or picture. And this is going to be a string. And this will point to the actual image that we're going to host. So this will be this for now. There we go. So we have a test group with a few members. Now this member is obviously string. We don't want that. So I'm going to get the ID of this document because I'm going to put myself in the test group. And my ID is test user. So I'm going to go to test group and delete this members field and add a new field to the members array, and that's always going to be a reference to a user. In this case, it's user/test user. So there we go. Cool. Now I did forget. We're going to use a bunch more of Firebase. That'll come later though. We're going to use authentication to authenticate people through GitHub. Would be a good one, right? Yeah, GitHub and Google. Doesn't really matter. Or only GitHub, because then I don't have to link accounts when people use Google after they use GitHub and then lose their account, whatever. So let's see. Authentication. We're going to use authentication, database, storage, and function. We're going to use storage to store profile pictures and stuff like that. So I'm just going to make this picture. This is going to be a URL to our to the picture of the group. So I'm just going to get the GenericTyping logo and put that up there. Maybe if I search GenericTyping on Google Images, if you look up GenericTyping on Google Images, my logo is the first one that pops up. I like that. Okay, so let's get that address and put it in here. There we go. So that's going to be our oh, it actually comes from Twitter, right? So that's going to be our profile picture for the group. Now I think that this portion is done now. Ooh, there we go. Yay, the following thing worked. Not a Vampire Zero. Welcome to the crew. I'm not sure what I'm calling like the entire fan base yet. Let me just take a quick sip. I was getting like, it has been a while since I've talked this much, right? It's been a while since I've done a stream last time. And we're already going for 24 minutes. Damn. Caution, I do burp a lot usually, so you are warned. Okay, cool. So we have our user and then a test group. Cool. So now what we want to do, let me just switch over to VS Code. Again, if you're in chat and you think that like it's what you're seeing, like the code is not big enough or something, just tell me so I can increase the font size and stuff. So we're going to make a few models. So the first model we're going to make is the user model. So let me just call that user.dart, and this is going to be a class user. Now, usually when making models and stuff, I first like to, let me just actually move that over here so it's in my center of view. Usually I just like making the files first and then filling them in later. So this will be a group, and these will all be Firebase objects, right? These will get a Firebase instance and then just fill themselves in, or get a document reference, that's called. So if you want to follow along like with your own app, just make sure that you have the Cloud Firestore Firebase Auth, these two in your project. Firebase Analytics is not necessary for what we're going to do. I just put that in there by default. Do note, as at this time, these packages may, like when you're watching this, these packages may already be deprecated or like updated. I know these two are, but I'm using these because I know they work. The latest one doesn't work for me. So make sure to get the Cloud Firestore and Firebase Auth and all those packages. Make sure you get those from pub, look them up, and get the latest version that way. And also important for Firebase, make sure that you have your permissions and Gradle stuff set up in both your iOS and Android parts of your app. Or Firebase just won't work. It will actually crash your app on start if you have these dependencies here, but don't have the dependencies in your Gradle. That will just crash the app. So if you're wondering why that happens, you haven't set that up correctly. So make sure you get these packages if you want to follow along. So let's see. We have a user object, and we're just going to copy the fields that the Firebase user has. So that's going to be, we're going to have a string first name. We're going to have a string last name. I'm actually going to do this a bit quicker. We're going to have a status. Let's just write that out completely. So this is, this is going to be an enumerator actually, because we want this status to map to an enumerator. Because we can get this integer, because status is an integer, right? Firebase gives us an integer back, but we can actually wrap this into an enumerator. That way our code is way cleaner. I talked about enumerators in episode 1 of my previous tutorials, PostX. I do believe it was episode 1, maybe it's 2. So yeah, just look up enumerators. I love them. So let's make that enumerator real quick. So this is going to be user status.dart. And this is going to be a simple enum with user status. And that's going to be online. How are we going to structure this? So that's online, away, do not disturb, and offline. Cool. So now we can import that over here. And that's going to be package PulseMe models and then status.dart. And this will just be a user status. There we go. Then we also have a boolean uses Slack. And the same goes for this WhatsApp and uses Zoom. Now this may not be the best structure to use for the user object and the database to expand this app later, right? Because we'll need to push an update every time we add a service. But for now, for these kind of tutorial things, this will do fine. So let's see. Since this is going to be an object that will be mapped from a document reference in Firebase, or a snapshot rather, doesn't matter. We want to save the reference that will come from Firebase just to make our life easier. So this is going to be reference. Now we can't find document reference since we need to import that. So let's go over here and import. It's going to be Cloud Firestore. So now I can find that. We have. I learned this from DevAngels to check your alphabetical order of your imports. So I keep checking that now as well. So that's that, and now we need to initialize all of these. So I'm just going to copy this, take our constructor, and go like this, and then check for every instance of final, and replace that with required. And then make this dot and change this into a comma. Now required is not found because we need to import that from meta. I was saying, yeah. Oh, did it actually? Oh, it knew the. I think the Dart extension knows about the alphabetical stuff because it put it here on purpose. and not like at the top or the bottom. If it does that, that'd be awesome. I didn't know that. Hey, font size is okay for me. Maybe stream at a higher resolution. It's 720p, which looks blurry on my 4K monitor. Jacko Plane tells me. Yeah, I get that. It's just that I need to consider the bandwidth that I use, right? As far as I can tell, using 720p makes for less bumps in my stream bitrate, right? But I'll do 1080p in the future and see if that holds up. If it doesn't, too bad. If it does, awesome. I'll do some more stream tests. Yeah, thanks for the suggestion though. Cool, I'll keep it in mind. So I'm thinking about this. We want a reference, but none of these are required essentially, right? Because we may set up a test user that doesn't have a document reference, and no, this is fine for now probably. Let's just get rid of this one because the rest is required. So it takes in a reference and then the rest of the things. Cool. So let me just make a so what I recommend for every Firebase object to have, or an object that comes from Firebase and needs to be mapped into a class instance, I recommend that all those have 2 or 3, well actually 2 factories or static methods that generate an instance of the class that it's in, and 2 methods within the class itself. So the 2 factory methods are going to be static future, and this will return a user from document reference. It's going to be document reference. I'm going to change this into from reference because document is kind of verbose and unnecessary. So ** async gets right at the top. Cool. And so this gives a document reference. The other one that I recommend everybody has is a from snapshot one. That will be a document snapshot, and this will be snapshot. Now, I do believe that snapshot doesn't need any more data to get from the internet that it already has. It already contains all the data for a user, right? So we can actually just make this a regular factory. There we go. So if we get a snapshot, actually let's just do the other ones. Do the group one first, and then do the rest later on. So I think this is fine for now. There are 2 more methods that I want this to have. And I'm thinking about actually making a Firebase abstract class to enforce that all these models adhere to the same or have the same fields and stuff. So let me just, let's see, Firebase model.dart. This is just improvisation at this point. Let's just see what we can do here. So let me import .io and Cloud Firestore. There we go. Good stuff. Use spaces? Yuck. Space for what? Like, you mean for like this one instead of tabs? Because it does this automatically. Spaces instead of tabs. Even when I press tab, it converts it into spaces anyway. So, but that's what it does automatically, and I do believe that's the standard. Python also is the same thing. I prefer tabs, but spaces is the default for Python as well. Or it is the coding hitting style guide. It tells you to use spaces instead of tabs. Although it does do both. Anyway, so we have an abstract class Firestore model. Actually, this needs to be renamed into Firestore then. There we go. So every abstract class Firestore model, can we define factories in here? Ooh, that's nice. Firestore model dot from. Does this not work? Dot from snapshot. Ooh, we need to, let's see. We need to fill this in immediately. Okay, then let's not do that. We can't define static classes or static methods, or fields for that matter, in a abstract class. Let me just look at the chat real quick. Red Label 1, who uses tabs instead of spaces? Next will be cereal before milk. Ooh. I first put, as far as that goes, I first put cereal in my bowl and then the milk, so I know I have the perfect ratio, whatever. Fellow Coke drinker, hey, of course. All day, every day. So we want this to have a to map, and I'll explain this in a second. That will be map dynamic to map. Oh wait, can we just factory Firestore model dot from snapshot? Can we just do this? No, we need to actually enter that stuff. You do milk before cereal? Yeah. They do, apparently. Red Label 1. Busted. So... Hey! Who have we got? Chard 1988. You are probably 10 years older than I am. If 1988 is your birthday. Thanks for the follow, though. Appreciate it. I'm gonna quickly look at some code I had previously. To make sure that I get the correct fields in my Firestore models. So that's going to be projects. Let's see. It's a map. Yeah. Right. Yeah. This is it. So we are also, because these are Firestore models, going to have a function that will be so it's a map to convert it into a JSON file, into a map actually, and then a save one that will be async, and we can force this to have a reference, of course. Document reference. Actually, why don't we make this a document snapshot? I'll just stick to the reference for now. Dark Tower Builder joined the crew. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Maybe soon I'll be able to do bits and stuff and donations. So this is going to be reference. And this is going to be final. Is it going to complain? Yeah, I need to initialize that. Okay, cool. So that will be Firestore model with a reference. Now it doesn't like me using final because the semicolon needs to be here. And let's just do it like this. There we go. So this save method will always do the same, and that is await this dot reference set data to whatever is returned from to map. Or actually, let me just omit this. Don't see a lot of people doing that. So this function will always be the same. But this function needs to be changed depending on what model we're using, because different models store data differently. So I think that's it for now. Yep. Although I can actually define... Can I define static stuff? That would be weird though. Well, let me just try it. This is probably gonna fail. So that's going to be from reference. Wait, I can do this? This will return a Firestore model. And that will be async, actually. It's just what we wrote earlier. Oh, wait, but that from reference. Let's see. Because okay. Static Firestore model. So this will return the this will return the actual user from, or the model rather, from a snapshot. And this code will always be different depending on what fields we have again. It is complaining though. Static methods can be declared abstract. Okay, so we need to define the body. That's the problem here. And since we can't define this, we cannot define this because this references that thing. But what we can do is, no, we can't enforce that. We also can't enforce or put in factories here. Nope. Must have a body. Okay, well then we'll leave that up like this. Okay, cool. Now we are going to inherit from Fire's store model. It's gonna complain. Oh, this is wow, that was C# extension. So this will extend Firestore model, which will come from here. And yes, it does do the dependencies alphabetically. That's nice. Just trying to learn new things. Yeah, awesome. I love the chart. I love that you joined me. Parset07, can you give me a brief description about that primitive block factory? What is the use case for it and why do you use it? I'm a Python dev. I'm interested if Dart has some specific syntax sugar for this keyword. So if you're asking what a factory is, it's really simple. It's basically a static function of a class that returns an instance of itself. So that's all it does. It produces new instances of itself because it produces. It's called a factory. That's the whole design pattern behind it. So that's a factory, essentially. Let me just make sure this is doing well. Do I not need to... there we go. Cool. So that's what a factory does. Is there a syntax sugar? I guess. I don't know if other languages have the actual factory keyword. But just to make sure, this factory user.from snapshot is the exact same thing as this. This is actually just syntax sugar, right? So these two are exactly the same, but it's nice to have a method that actually says factory, so it's more verbose. Now this is a factory as well. This one, but it's async, and I don't believe factories can be async. No, so that needs to be a static one. Now, does Dart have syntax sugar? Absolutely. I mean, just look at this. If you want to know what this means, by all means look it up. But this is just a constructor. So there definitely is syntax sugar if you're looking for that. What theme are you supporting in VS Code? So everything about my stream, right? So everything, like if you look at my my actual, let me just clear this. So everything about my theme here is one dark, right? So the one dark theme. So this is my terminal, this is my VS Code, and then okay, my Chrome is just a regular Chrome, right? But yeah, this is one dark, and it comes from Adam actually. So let's see, another idea. Use a VS plugin called bracket pair colorizer that matches brackets by color. I really like that one, but I never found a good combination of colors to use. I could just use the regular colors that are in one dark, but that would kind of clutter it up, I believe. So I just got used to doing it like this. But it's a really good idea. I definitely recommend that. Thank you, Jacob Plain, for recommending that. Bracket pair colorizer is awesome. And there's also a regular Visual Studio extension that does the same thing, and I guess for IntelliJ as well. Must be. Any thoughts on Flutter Redux versus inherited widget? Really? Don't ask me. Since I like state management and stuff. Ooh. FinXLI. Finksley. I can call you that. Thank you for following. I appreciate it. So, any thoughts on Flutter Redux versus inherited widget? I'm not the person to ask. Like, there's a bunch of state management stuff. It's like, it's entire. There's like a whole. That's just an entirely different world, right? It's that I'm not really familiar with. I know how to use Redux. I wouldn't say I know how to use Redux properly and stuff. I've hacked it a bit to use async stuff with a few packages. Really, for Flutter Redux specifically, that's Brian Egan. Brian Egan is your man. He's the guy who developed the Flutter Redux package. The Flutter community may actually have a few things to say about that, about state management and stuff. I'm not the guy to ask. I barely know what an inherited widget is. I know kind of how it works in the background, thanks to some people that have explained it to me. Wow, not using Redux is a proper usage of Redux. Nice. yeah, don't ask me. But there are definitely people who can tell you. So let's see. We have this static future user. Yeah, okay. So let's make our group right now. Our group is also going to inherit from Firestore model. Now, you may... here, I do it again. This is C# syntax. So you may wonder, okay, outside the... Like, okay, so we can enforce this. What's good about that? Well, thing is, now we know for sure that every class that is a... semantically is a Firestore model will have the save and to map function and always have a reference, right? To the original document that it was created from. Also, if you somewhere have like a list, if you have a list somewhere that says like, oh, let's get to that homepage. If we want to have a list of models, right? We can just make a list of, well, anything, right? And put like a user and a group in there. Now let me just import those models, right? So this would work, but the problem here is since I can put anything in here, I could put a true in here at 3 or 2, and what have you. Hi there, and fuck it, let's put like a new widget in there, or oh, these are just right. So new user, new group, new widget, right? Okay, this doesn't work like that, but like the point is, yeah, I can put a list view in this. This is ugly. If I want to put models in here and only restrict myself for using models, the only thing I have to do is go here, say this list will only contain Firestore models, and let me spell that correctly. And this will be a list of Firestore models. Now we don't need this anymore. And this needs an import. And look, now it knows that user is a Firestore model and group is, but these all aren't, right? So now we can't put anything that's not a Firestore model in here, which is really nice. So now we can, that allows us to kind of enforce that we only use these models where we need to. So it's just a way of making less mistakes. That's all. That's all that an abstract class does, and what most of this stuff does. That's why you use this as final. Because you want to, for example, because you want to make less mistakes. So let's see, we have this user and we have the group. Now the group needs to have an override. Oh, do we need to implement? Oh yeah, of course. So that's a good thing actually as well. This is going to complain because we haven't implemented the toMap function that we have right here, but we need to, or well, the program won't run. So yeah, let me implement that later. It's nice that it puts a to-do there for me. And then we need to have a constructor that calls the reference, and or that uses the reference rather. Now let me just comment this out really quickly and get our fields together. So the group object is really simple. It has a list of members, which I'm going to give document reference because we want the data to be as fresh as possible. So this will be members. Now, why don't I use a list of user after I import it? The reason for that is if I use a list of users and one of those users inside this group list, members list, is updated, I don't know that, right? I want to stick to document references as much as I can in order for live updates to come through and actually propagate through my app so I can see those live updates. And that's why I use document reference instead of a user object. Now, we do want a group and user class just to manage our stuff a bit better, but that's only used to convert what we already have, like the snapshot and the reference that we're getting, to convert that into a more usable thing, to a user class or a group class, right? To a group or a user model. But I don't intend to save these groups and user models, right? I want to get fresh ones from Firebase as much as I can, so that live updates can propagate. Just jumping out of the hot tub for me to say hi. What's up, Voluptus3509? Static type system, yay! I'll never do that again on stream. Let me actually look at myself. Oh yeah, that was awesome. Not gonna not gonna lie. So this has a reference, just like every other Firestorm model, called reference. Now, you know what I think? Since we already save reference in Firestorm model, do we need to save it in here? I do wonder. What if we do it like this, and then call... Let's see. So I did that on the home page. So if I make a new user and just give that like a couple of fields, whatever, can I just... I can just get reference that way because it inherits. Okay, that's nice. So then I don't need to type reference everywhere. That's really cool. So this can go. And then, yeah. And then I only need to define the actual fields here. So it has a string, that's going to be the name. And it has a picture, which can be an image. That doesn't need to be async, right? Yeah. So this can be an image profile, or rather a network image. If I can spell. Image. Now this is going to complain. Or no, actually we want... Haha, just like last time, we need to separate models and views and stuff like that. So we don't want an image here necessarily. We want a string that... What do you guys think? Should I put a widget there, like a network image or an image provider? Does that fit in the model, or should I make this a string with the link to the actual image? What do you guys think? Oh wow, Vibex, nice. Thanks for the recording. I really don't know what way to go, what route to take here. I think URL, yeah, okay. Let's do that then. You're the first to respond, so. That leaves open to store the image itself, yeah. Right, data URLs. Separate the resources from the presentation. Right, exactly. So this would be picture as a string, which would be oh actually we can rename that to picture URI or URL. That'd be better probably. That'd be more verbose because it's not the actual picture, it's the picture URL. So let me just change that. So picture URL. Ooh, that reminds me. There are these libraries that allow you to assign JSON values to these variables. If we can do that, then we don't need to write our to map and from document will be way easier since we already saved the JSON file. Always good practice. Yeah, I think you need to send up the bad signal. Oh boy. Ooh. 66 people. What's up? Didn't expect that many. Okay, cool. So let me just take a sip really quickly. Let's put that up here. Oh, already had that. Document, reference, and then the required stuff. So the first required isn't found because we need to import meta. And this dot name, and well, the picture can actually be empty probably. So let's assign a default picture in our database. That would be best probably. Yeah, so we still want to require that. Picture URL. This will be called. And then this will get the reference. Cool. So now we just need to implement this one and this one. This will also be dynamic. Let's see, I see... Whoa! Where did I get 200 viewers from? What the hell? Okay, I got a boost. Hi, everybody. Didn't expect that. That's a new record high for me. Well, welcome to GenericTyping, I guess. Or it's a glitch. I bet it's a glitch, and I'm just getting like... it shouldn't be. Oh well. I still have 199. Anyway, getting astray. So let's implement these functions for the model. So if we get a reference, it's really easy. We just need to get the actual snapshot. So the document snapshot that comes from that reference will be the reference dot get, and we need to await that. Oh, this needs to be async, right? There we go. And then we'll return a user or just from snapshot. Oh, I need to write from, yeah, okay, cool. And then just pass the snapshot. There we go. So, they're now 24. Nice glitch. Oh, I got 221 on my screen, or it's a glitch, in which case, well, rip. So, let's see, factory user from snapshot. And this will just return, yeah, let's see, return a new user with the fields. First name is snapshot, what's that going to be, data, dot contains key. Oh, and then we just put in this value here. So I'm just going to quickly look up the, a way to get all my variables to have a JSON equivalent, because I saw that somewhere that you could do that. So let's see, Dart JSON variables. If anybody knows in the chat, then please tell me, because that would be nice. So it was like a thing where you would basically be like, oh, I have this variable, right? And then I could just do like add JSON and go like this and then put in the JSON value, something like that. I saw that somewhere. And I really like that approach, because then I only have to write my JSON part once. That would be awesome. Yeah, 32 viewers. Nice glitch. Oh well. Rip. Getting all excited for nothing. So is this what we want? Maybe one of these. Darts and content may be obsolete, whatever. Add entity. So produce and read simple JSON, compiles to smaller. What? I want to see code examples. Okay, here we go. Oh, this automatically serializes that, I guess. Oh, it has a transformer, right? Okay, so that's not what we want. Same example, exact same example. Wait, is this? Oh, these are okay. So this is serialization. Where are we at here? Sending objects between the Dart server. Tab 2. Where do I find what I want? I need a nice solution. The nice solution. Nobody has answer. That okay? This is the exact same page. Okay. Let's see how to handle JSON in Dart. Cryptic. Yeah. So let's see. Let's look for the @ symbol. Dart JSON class map. Or is it this? Is it actually the entity proper? There we go. So then, let's see. Dartson object is new entity class. That's this. So why do we need to instantiate this then? Where do we use that DSON? Oh, that's encoding. Oh, right, because you have an object.name. That will be test, other name, blah, blah. Actually, yeah. And then it does the DSON.encode, which will be, okay, so this looks nice. I think this is what we want. May be able to use this person JSON to a, yeah. So decode object.name, DSON, and then list DSON decode. And then we get a list of entity class. That'd be nice. I really like that. Okay. So are we gonna use this? Why not? It would be a new experience. I'm just concerned about making a new DSON or DartSON instance every time. Let's see, how would that work? We have our name, and then other name has this parameter. Oh, and then okay, so everything has, so name shares the same name since there's no property tag. But then, oh, this is entity, and then, but this one has other name, and this one has a default value. I guess. Let's see. Not visible. Ignore true. What does that mean? Mapping maps on listed Dart objects. Yeah, this is kind of an awesome package. New entity class. Yeah, so DSON.map and then the actual map to new entity class. That looks nice. I just wonder if that data object is... Let's worry about this later, just in case. So let's see, Flutter.io/JSON. That's what we want. So this tells me about map string and stuff. Use it up from JSON. JSON.decode. Yeah, I got this. This is what I use already. But then let's see, add JSON serializable. User from JSON. That's cool. I'll have a look at this later in another preparation, right? I'll just see it. Yeah. Let's see, JSON codec. Oh, that's inside Dart convert, right? Yeah, I'm using this already. The only thing that I was wondering is if I can have like a class and then never define like actual strings for the fields of that class in JSON, except for once in my class definition. That doesn't sound right. Yeah. Okay. Let's just do this manually, and then we can always refactor it later. So, be nice. And I did see this syntax just now in the example that I didn't see before. Can I just do this? There was something, I have to look it up, but what was it? I just had that tab open. What was that? It was a factory user.from JSON, and then a return thing. Does not have a zero argument constructor. Oh, right, because I get that. Okay, so we do need to just use this. Let's see, why is this complaining? Oh, there we go. Oh, I actually missed the person who just followed. Is it in here? Shit, did I actually miss it? Am I dropping frames? Not anymore. Doesn't seem like it. Okay, let me check my let me check my email real quick. Okay, the screen may shake all over right now, but I want to say thanks for the people who do follow me. So that will be McConnell, MC, and SVT Giordano. So thank you guys. You were in screen probably, but I just didn't notice. Okay, so let's see. Now we can get back to our code. So once we get a, let's see. Okay, right. So reference will be the snapshot. We get the reference with that. There we go. Oh, another one. I am gonna look. Oh, that's SVG Giordano. SVG Giordano. Hi there. Thanks for the follow again. So let's see. Let me turn off my email again. Really professional, guys. So yeah, that's all we need to do. Do the first name, and all the other fields, and then make a toMap function. And then we're all set, done. Yeah, I mean, either actually 371 people are watching, which I don't believe, right? But yeah, that is peculiar. If they are there, which I don't believe so, but hi, welcome to channel. I am very small, yes, but I have lots of viewers. I like. Mr. Saladman, thanks for follow. I like salad, very nice. Although I do not eat salad that much, I actually eat trash. I do not eat breakfast, but when I do eat, I eat trash. Like a pizza. For example, I very much like. The status is gonna be... Can we actually... Let me... So this is a list of values. Ooh, that's nice. I didn't know that actually, that you can get all of those. Can we just... How does... let me just look up Cloud Firestore, darts enumerator. How does it save that? I think it's just an integer. Must include enumerator. Oh! Atlas Parabola. What's up, man? Thanks for the follow. We actually may have 374 viewers if I'm getting these follows that quickly. That'd be nice. There we go again. Kyle-win. What's up, man? Thanks for the follow. Hope you're enjoying yourself. So let's see. That counter is gonna go all the way if the viewer count does increase. So let's see. Snapshot of data. We have a first name, a last name. Now the status is just called status, so that should be fine. Whether they use Slack... Oh, we need the group, actually. Did we add that here? No, not yet. So let's add that. Let's put that over here. This is going to be a document reference as well, since we want to get the data as it comes in. So... Let's see. Document reference group. Now what we can do, I'm thinking of a system where you have a group object with only a reference, and then you can call get on it, and then you get the actual group object, depending on the... Yeah, that's what we need to do. Hey, what's up? Saturn Haven, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. So what we could do... Yeah. Because we have a... Oh, we have a reference, though, not a snapshot. Squiddy, what's up? Thanks for the follow. So if we change this to a... Yeah, let's do that. Let's change this to a document snapshot. Let's just refactor a whole bunch of shit. So let's make this a snapshot and then feed this to snapshot. I'm just gonna go out on a limb here and hope that this works properly. So this will be a snapshot. Let me just add it this. So now we have the snapshot. We don't need to... Because now we can do this. When initializing our object, we can add a constructor. Last one here, 2311. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Oh, that's gonna get stale though, right? I mean, if yeah, this still works. That's gonna get still like, thanks man, I appreciate it. Thanks man, I appreciate it. So this can... Now, if this needs a snapshot as well... Huh. My idea was... It doesn't really help us, but my idea was that we can just initialize a new user object by just the snapshot, right? Like this. And then just give these, like, do it like this. So make all of these getters, and I keep placing that in the wrong place. But then this isn't final, but that doesn't need to be final. Yes, you can join the crew. You certainly can join the crew, and you just did. Thank you for that. Now we can call snapshot.data and then this. So this will just be the how are we gonna do this? So what's the plus about this system? That we only need to provide a snapshot, but then we can't provide I'm thinking about this. So if we only use the snapshot and we get the data from that, our advantage is that we can use getters, but the advantage of using a document reference here instead is that our values are already calculated and we don't need getters for everything. It won't be slower, probably, but it will, if we do use a reference here instead of a snapshot, it allows us to make a group object with only a reference and not have trouble with getting that group asynchronously. It's a bad explanation. I'll just stick to what I know. I'll just keep it like how it was. So that means that this will be a reference. There we go. That's going to be a reference. This is going to be a reference. And this group needs to be here. Our Firebase model needs to go back to its roots. And the snapshot will stay the same. Reference is now correct. Group. Now, that's going to be a new group. And we can give it maybe like a variable if it's initialized or not. Let's see, group. Let's see, this is just like a name parameter group not defined. Oh, we need to add it. That's right. So status at required this dot group because a user needs to be in a group necessarily. Group dot. This is going to be a factory, so we want to make a new group. You need to import this first. Check chat. What does this app do? Too much snapshotting, yeah. So what does the app do? McConnell asks. So this app is called PulseMe. If this goes up on YouTube and Twitch, you can rewatch everything. Really short. It's called PulseMe and it allows you to quickly send notifications to each other without having to type a message and stuff. Today we're going to do the modeling of the thing. So we have a group. Now we can add that over here. Our imports are nicely alphabetically arranged. I love that. Good on you, person of whose name I forgot who made the Dart extension. Is it Dantop? Let me just quickly look that up because I want to credit the correct person here. Maybe if I mention their name, they're gonna watch. Yeah, Dantup, D-A-N-T-U-P, on Reddit anyway. So, thank you. We appreciate it. So this is going to be a new group, and we need to put in a reference here. This reference is going to be... Let's see. Oh yeah. This group is going to be. So if you have a look back at our, Firebase, this user has a group, and that will be a reference to a document. So what we can literally do is just give this the snapshot.data node group. So this will have a reference. Let's get this. Let's make the document reference into a group. And now, let's see. We need to. But we need to fill those things in. Basically, we want to have this be a group document, but we don't want it to necessarily have been initialized yet, I think. Or we just change it to a reference. That would be best, probably. That would be the easiest for now. We can always refactor later. So group will just be the group reference. Let me actually change that name just to make it a bit easier on myself. Now what else we got? Uses Slack. Oh, for all these fields, it's really easy. So we have uses Slack, uses WhatsApp, and uses Zoom. Which indicates what services this user uses. And then we just copy this, go snapshot.data, and go like this, mosquito somewhere on my arm. There we go, but then this needs to be like this, because that's how you format that JSON stuff properly. So that's everything, I believe. Cool. Okay, so now we need to convert this into a map, and that's quite easy. This will return a map. There we go. And that map won't be empty. You want stuff to be inside of there. Let me just quickly look at how I did that before. Should be really easy. Let me print that very quickly. Yeah, that's basically just like the field, and then so it's this basically. It's this, and then let's get all these lines. Now we only want this part. Ooh, we can actually how about some quick formatting over here? Remove this, copy all this, go over here, and ta-da! Haha! I am le quick editor. I can actually probably just make this into a regex function, one or the other. Let's see, when I see a brand new tech being streamed live, I like to think that some of the creators might be amongst the viewers. Oh boy. Well, if that counter is correct, and I actually do have 377 viewers, who knows? My Twitter post has been, or my Twitter tweet, has been retweeted a bunch of times and liked, so who knows, man? Perhaps. Watching, judging, staring, watching, always judging. Yeah, I'm not too scared for that. That's what backseat programming is called. I do like to get to the point where I have so many people watching where I just like mistype something and like the entire chat just explodes just to tell me that I typed the letter S wrong, right? Good times. That's goals. That's life goals right there. So let's see. Our group object will have to do the same. So it needs to have a. Oh, by the way, if people are wondering, why don't we have the save method that we defined here? Well, the body of the save method is already defined, which means that every object that inherits from that Firestore. Excuse me. Wow, that can't turn over. Sorry for that. So because the user and group object inherit from the Firestore model, and the save method already has a body, which is array reference.setData.map. It will do the exact same thing in all those classes that inherit from it as well. So, which means that if, for example, we have a where did I do that example? If we have a new user, we can call say okay, let me final user equals user, and then we can call save on that. And what's the body of that save? Well, it goes back to our Firestore model. So that's a nice thing about that. So, but then our toMap function is always going to be different. So that's why we don't put a body in there, right? But it does know that that toMap function will be there. So that's why we can define the save function ahead of time. And when we change this, everything that inherits from it will be changed as well. But this toMap function depends on what object you have. So we need to do that manually. But we may have some smart stuff coming up for Dart in the future that will make it so that we don't have to define this function and the save function ourselves, but just inherit from Firebase model, and then everything will be done automatically. That'd be nice. Okay, so let's make sure that what we've done here is going to be the same for the group. So that means that we don't need to define a save method, but we do want to have a static future. Does this have Dart async? Nope. Static future of group, from, what's that going to be, reference? Yeah. And this will take a document reference, just the exact same signature of the other function. And let's see what we did over there. We just got the snapshot and then called our factory. So this will be group, and that's the only thing that will change. Let's make this async so we can actually await. And now we need to define our factory. So that's going to be group.fromSnapshot. And now this will take a document snapshot. And this doesn't need to be async. It can't be async since it's a factory actually. And then we return a group, new group, with the reference set to the snapshot reference. And what fields do we have? We have members. Oh, which is already correct. Members is indeed a list of members in our Cloud Firestore. And the picture URL will just be the picture URL. Like this. There we go. That should be everything. Or missing something? Oh, a name, of course. So let's define that quickly. That's going to be the snapshot data name. So that's going to be it. Let me move this up real quick. There, it's a bit better. Oh, let me put a comma here. There, that's good formatting. So, is this required? Yep, okay. So that means this model is almost done. Let me just do the same stuff over here. Up, and then like this. Take this, remove it, take this, copy it, take this, go like this, and that should be it. Oh, wait. There we go. Done. Cool. 5 times 7. What? So much boilerplate code. It just feels like a lot of repeating. Well, yeah, I get what you mean. The thing is, though, there are ways. If you really go into it, there would be ways to kind of automate this. But again, you don't need all of this, right? You can see this as a lot of boilerplate. You can also see this as just helper methods and a factory that we use to make it easier on ourselves to interact with these Firestore objects, these Cloud Firestore objects. But I do get that it's a lot of boilerplate, not necessarily because it is, but because we repeat it so many times, right? This wouldn't be dry. Don't repeat yourself. But yeah, I like it for now. It's fine for what it is. We could have all of this like predefined in our Firestore model if it was a bit smarter about knowing what the actual string version of the name is in the Cloud Firestore, right? You could make classes for that. You could make a package for that, I believe. The language does allow you, really is, I believe, that lenient with it. But for now, I'll just type it myself, and it's fine. So, let's see. Cool. So now we've got this ball rolling. Our group and user class are done, I believe. So that's nice. Let me just quickly check everything. Okay, cool. So now we've got this. Let's get some data going. So first of all, let me just edit my Firebase because I do need to edit this group thing a bit. Let's make sure that these two are the same. It has members, it has a name, and it has a picture URL. That's cool. And our user object has a first name, last name, a group reference, which is called group in here. Okay, cool. It uses Slack, uses WhatsApp, uses Zoom, and it has a status, which is a enumerator. Okay, cool. So let's get some actual data on the screen then, just to see if it all works. So we're going to do that in VS Code, of course. Let me have a quick drink. There, oh boy. Wow. Oops. Hellos, master. Hellos. Good one. So, what we're gonna need in order to get the Cloud Firestore into our app is we have put our config file in the actual project. We have set up our project, and that's really it. So the only thing we need to do now is display it. So this body is going to be a stream builder, because we're going to get our documents from Cloud Firestore as a stream. So let's let's make this into a list view. Wrap with new widget. That's going to be a list view builder. Or really? No. Let's just make a list view and then get some children going on over here. So let's put this in here like that, and let's make this of type widget. Ooh, I'm doing well today. So let's see. We have a new stream builder. 1 second. Need to. There we go. Just took a quick screen. So we have our stream builder. First thing I want is like a center text that just tells us, that just tells us what we're looking at. So users, and then we want this stream builder next. Why is this complaining? Have I screwed up? Oh, this needs a comma. There we go. And then I want a piece of text that says groups. And this stream builder will have a couple of stuff. First of all, the stream. So that's going to be firestore.instance, and we now need to import Firestore. There we go. That is nice and alphabetically ordered. We don't need this one. So Firestore instance dot collection. Now, before I go any further, I do want to add a static field here. That's going to be a collection name, and this is always going to be the same. So we can actually make this a const, I guess. No? Only static fields. Okay, cool. There you go. Because this will never change. And this is going to be groups. That's going to be its collection name, and then the user's collection name is going to be called users. So now we can go over to our home page and tell it to get a group, or let's get the users first. User.collection name, and then we want all documents. So that's going to return a future of query snapshot. Is that correct? Oh, we want the snapshots of, or is that? Oh yeah, it's just snapshots. Notifies query results at this location. Cool. So now we're gonna get all documents, I do believe. Let me just check one more thing. Good. Can we do it like this? No. Okay, cool. So just snapshots then. So these are gonna come in one by one. And let's have a builder that's actually gonna build the widget that's gonna display this. And that will be... what's that gonna be? Just a context and the snapshot. Cool. And this will return a widget. So first we want to check if the snapshot data is there at all. If it's not, then see, like this. If that snapshot data is false, then it's still loading up the results. So this doesn't mean that if our database wouldn't have any records, that's not the same as snapshot.hasData. Snapshot.hasData tells you if it has any results from like the internet at all. So it doesn't know yet if the database has any records or not. This is just but when there is a result, then it does have data. Now, if that data is empty or not, that's another case. This just tells it if it's still loading, so to speak. So then we're going to return a circular progress indicator. If it does have data, then it won't return, in which case we will just make a let's do. Oh, actually, you know what we can do? So this will have a snapshot of dynamic, right? Because what we'll get here, what will we receive here? Is that going to be a document? It's going to be a document snapshot, I do believe, or a query snapshot actually. But what we can do is, as soon as this data comes in, we can do something else with this. So let's see, what does this snapshot object have? .data .documents, right? So what we can do is we can change this stream builder into a list of users. Let me just try this. I haven't done this that often before, but that would mean that this would be a list of user. Now this will complain, but now we can async map that from, and we can define types here, I do believe. Right, this will return a stream of E. That's going to be outdated soon. One second. Is there default behavior for the stream builder to handle the case when you don't have an internet connection? For example, if you don't have connection, it doesn't hang but returns empty list with additional notifications for internet issues or something like that. Has data just defines if it has any result at all. Your answer is yes, and it's called snapshot.hasError. So you can check for errors that way. So what you would usually do is, if snapshot.hasError, then you return like an error thing, and then you can probably get some details. Let's just look that up real quick. So if snapshot.hasError, that's just a boolean. So that would be return icons.sentiment dissatisfied. You could do something like this. Now, if it doesn't have any data, then you can do the loading thing. And so this is data has loaded, right? So this is, does it have an error? This is there any data back from the server? So even if the data is empty, whatever, doesn't matter. Is there something back? No, then show the progress indicator. And all other cases are the data has come in and it doesn't have an error. So let's see, we're going to convert this into a list of users. And so we'll get our snapshot over here. And then this is going to be our function. Now let me just change this. What's this going to be? A query snapshot. So let's make a quick method for converting from a snapshot to a list of users. You could actually do something like from query snapshot. That might be kind of nice. Wait, can't we define this in general, by the way? Let me just quickly look up. Like if we can define this in our abstract class, that would be really nice. So this would return a list of whatever Firestore model we have. And it would be static. And it would be from query snapshot. And then this would take in a query snapshot. And then we have to define this body, right? So my question is, can this be async? Yes, but this needs to return a future then. And import .async. And then, okay, so we have that snapshot. Okay, so we know for a fact that this has data and doesn't have any errors. So we have this list of documents. So what we can just do is we can have a list of Firestore model result, and then for each reference in the snapshot.documents. Oh, this is snapshot, right? So for each snapshot, that's going to be document snapshot. For each of those, we want to add a new result, and that's going to be Firestore model. Oh, no, we can't do this because the from snapshot method is not defined in our thingy. is not defined. So we can't do this here. Okay, then we need to do it from user. That's fine. Just copy paste this almost. So this will, let's change this into user. And so we will add a new user dot from snapshot and then provide the document snapshot. And then we're going to return the result. There we go. Okay, and now we can async map that stuff over here. So now whenever our stream comes in and we have a snapshot with all the documents in it, we can then map that that list of documents to a list of users, and which means we can take that snapshot and we can just put this in here, user dot from query snapshot. There we go. So this should work. Not sure if it will, but so now we won't get we will still get a snapshot back, but the snapshot will now not contain documents. Snapshot, wow. But the data will be a list of user. So now we can say we can make a list view. We can make a builder for that. The item count is going to be the length of the list. The item builder will take in a context and an index of what element we're at that point, and will return a card. I fucking love cards in Flutter. They're awesome. With edge sets of all of like, what's that going to be? 15. Don't know how big that will be, but whatever. And the child will be a text widget. Which will just state its state all the fields or some of them. So ID. So let's make this into a column. Hey, there again. Kashanks, if I pronounced that correctly. Thank you for following. Appreciate it. Let's see. Let me just read the chat real quick. I found that someone is fucking with the users in the programming section. I guess that there is a botnet that goes and rates all channels randomly. Someone is very bored. I don't know if someone is trying to disrupt the Twitch algorithms for suggestions or something else, but it will definitely mess up the statistics for the streamers. Yeah, that will be definitely. You'll think so. Although my stream is still doing fine. You could pass a deserialization function into that static from snapshot method. You could create a static from snapshot function in user model and then wrap an inner function over the generic model one. What? Sorry, I don't get that exactly. If you do have like a suggestion, you can make like a piece of code on Gist or something. If you want to actually show me what you mean. But right now, I don't think I get it. Sorry. First time seeing someone using Dart here. Yeah, I guess. Not sure how many people are using Twitch to show Flutter programming or Dart in general, but definitely one of them. So, we have our list of users, .data.element at the index where we're at, and then the reference, and then we can get that ID. Cool. Let's put this into a column. There we go. So we have the ID, and then we have that. This is just to display some of the data. And then we have, let's just make this a bit cleaner. So let's make this into a proper function, not a lambda. So that'll be like this, and like this. And let's put that C, and you can join in C. Not you, C language, just this one. So user current user in the list equals the snapshot dot data dot the element at the index. So now we can just go like current user. That's way shorter. So what else do we want to know? Maybe the first name. First name, and now we can do this quite easily because we can just copy this a bunch of times and go like this. Last name. What else do we have? We have yeah, the uses stuff, right? So uses Slack, uses WhatsApp, uses Zoom. Whoops. Okay, there we go. So now we can print all those. So this should just run. I think we're done now. It's mind committing to the repo. Yeah, I'll commit this in a second once this demonstration thing is done. And then you can do all the PRs you want. Can you commit? You can commit to your fork, and then you can share the commit ref. Yeah. The thing is, I haven't committed all this yet. Like the last commit was even without like the models and views folders. So I need to commit this, and then you guys can edit all you want. Edit it all you want. So is this async actually? Yes, it is. Okay. Okay, so this should just run. Let's just fucking try it. Well, let's see. I'm not sure what it will bring up, but we'll see for our own. That loading indicator is not doing well. What the hell happened there? Okay, we got some permission errors, but what the hell am I looking at? Okay then. What is going on there? That loading indicator is just having its time of its life, isn't it? I think we need to shrink wrap this to make sure that it doesn't grow as big as it can. Let's do the same here. Nope. Where are you? Shrink wrap on a center, on a stream builder. This doesn't have any of those. No. So, ooh, what we can do with initial data, by the way, is one of those Facebook things that you see a lot on Facebook, where they have like a post template with like a color that they put a gradient over that serves like a loading thing, and then put the post up. We could do something like that, but we're not doing much with UI. What the hell is happening? Anyway, let me just fix my Firebase stuff real quick. So let's go over here and get those security rules all broken. Okay, published. Cool. Let's retry this. Is it just getting data, or? Because the last thing was permission denied, but we are in the correct project. Maybe it takes a little while for... Oh, that is an error. It shows our little... Okay, to answer your question, what's that? Parset 07. There's your answer right there. It's a tiny error. Let's also throw that exception real quick, just to make sure that we get to see what the hell is up. So that has an error, which snapshot.error. There we go. So what is this object? It's an... Oh, it's just an object. Okay. So let's debug print that. Debug print that, and then return that icon. Let's make that a bit bigger. Size put that up to, what's that going to be, 40. I'll reload that. Oops. Oh, we need to convert this to string. It's a type error. Type int is not a subtype. Ah, okay, so we are getting our thingy, but we're just not converting it well. So let me just look up enum int to enum dart. Let's see what we have. Press B in the terminal. Yeah, I know. Brilliant. I've been looking for that for weeks. I have no sound. How did you get... I have no sound. How did you get the layout borders? Oh, yeah. That's when you press P in your terminal. Then you get like the thing. Also, Shift P is performance. So they can see if something is moving or animating, then you can see the performance over there. So let's see, type int. It's not a subtype of user status. So I come from C# a whole while back, and there you can just map a enum to. So there's this enum. Let me actually share Chrome. So there's this enums package, but I don't necessarily want that. Extends enum. I just want to convert from integer to an enum value. That's all. Should be really simple, but enum. Index. There we go. So it does have an index thing. Have you tried casting it? Oh my god, is it just that simple? Yeah, of course I need to cast it because like it's just an integer now. So when it comes in, it thinks like, hey, this is an integer. So I just need to go, yeah, you're so right. Again. So right, again. User status as user status. And it's gonna fucking work. Look at this. Did I not do something that I was supposed to do? Let's just rebuild this. This session has been going on for a long time. Bum, 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 bum. Good music going on. Thanks to the good people at chillhop.com. Get your free license today. Oh, having fun again. Streaming is fun. Always is. Especially with 350 fake viewers. Good times. Okay. Type int is not a subtype of type user status in typecast. Aha. So you're not right. That's a new one. I don't hear the mute. You should. There is music as a background. I'll put it up a bit. But it's definitely there. It's not muted. Does anybody else not hear music? Because this is a really silent stream for those people. Yeah, okay, so there's music. So shut up, Dev Angels. No, love you. You're just blind. Maybe on your end. Yep. The whole chat is attacking you. Get rid of... Well, Dev Angels is actually mod, so be nice. Don't want to get evicted. Dart cast enum int. Can I cast a string to an enum? Enum is bit enum for string. Blah 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 blah. Ooh, we've got Wilkins with a 1 as an I. Edgy. Just kidding. Thank you for the follow. You know someone's cool if they have replaced letters of their name with numbers instead. That is elite. Scott, I'll bet you've recorded that as well. Enum limitations. To string. Huh. So how does Firebase save that usually? Because okay, you know what I'm gonna try? I'm gonna try because I've had enums in Firebase and get them directly out of Firebase as well. I have done that before, so I'm just gonna make a new user and save that, and let's see what happens. Oh, this song's so good. For people, oh wait, you can see the song. Bureaucratic, extra fresh. Is that correct? Yep. Awesome. So let's make a new user, which won't have a reference yet, but we'll make one. We could just make a create method, of course. Why not just add a create method? Let's do it. Why not? So that can definitely go in here, I believe. So this takes in the Firestorm model. And then we have a save thing. And we know that model has a reference. So model.reference.setDate. Are we doing something really simple but still making a function for it? I think so. Because this is the exact same as toMap. So basically model.reference.save is all we're doing. But we can't call reference on that. We just model.save, that's it. Oh, but we do want to make a new reference. Right. But in order to get that, this needs to have a field. Oh well, okay, let's not do this then. We can always make a CRUD on the objects themselves. Let's go to homepage then and make a new user. User. So the reference is gonna be firestore.instance.collection name.document. And this is just gonna be a new document, right? Choose document if no path is provided, auto-generate ID is used. Cool. And then we just pass in a bunch of fields, and then we call save on that. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. And right here, we're going to pass our fields in. We only need to run this once. So let me just make a button that does this. Let's do builder. Let's put in a button over here. Look at chat real quick. What's your enum type name? Enum type name? Enum? This is it. This is the entire file. That's it. So, okay, let's go to our home page. Let's make a button here. So this has a list view, and let's add a raised button. Why does this not work? Huh? Oh, button. Button. There we go. Child is going to be text with create a new user. Ooh, who have we got? BluzzyFR. Is that? Are you from France? Tu es français? My French is horrible. After learning Japanese, all my French just went right out the window. So let's see. I'm pressed. But thank you for following. So this will just be this. Oh, there we go. So this just makes a new user. Let's put this in like that. Why doesn't that work? Oh, because we need to get rid of this and then this, and there we go. So we're making a new user. Now let's fill this with a bunch of stuff. Static user status of int the values that single where. Yeah, I could do that, but then this type wouldn't be enum anymore, right? Because I can't just put stuff in here. I was wanting to know how it sounds to say "fuck you" in Chinese. Please let me know. I know Japanese, not Chinese. There's a tad of a difference there. No, we can't make functions. Ah. But what we can do is, can we put this inside of a class actually? Just trying my options. Enums can't be carrying classes. Okay. Said Chinese a bit earlier. No. I said after learning Japanese, my French just went right out of the window. Side classes. Okay, cool. Wait, can't we just do... Nope. Rip. Namespace. Ooh, that's right. So wait, we declare. No. Oh, right. Just use namespaces. So that would mean that. Yeah, bro, do you know pseudocode? Yes. I think everybody knows pseudocode. Okay, cool. Want to type let because I've done a bunch of TypeScript lately. Yeah, that would just be this returns a user status of, and then int value. This would return. So what did you say? Before you were saying is trying to improve as dev and have spent like 80% of your time googling instead of actually programming. That's called learning, mate. That's exactly that. Oh, and then you just do user status dot values, and then first where, and then they let me just copy that. Why not? And then you say t because you've already had dump value. Cool. T dot index equals value. La 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 la. Oh boy. Sometimes I feel like I'm dying after some of those verbs. Anyway. So that means that we use a namespace for user status here. Or I can make my my American fans proud and put US in there. I'm not gonna do that. Screw you. So this is gonna be ugly for a little moment, but that doesn't matter because now we can say user status dot of, and then we can put in the snapshot.data. Thank you, DevAngels, for the code for that. I appreciate it. I think you meant like you meant it like this, right? As a with an as the import. Want to do my homework for me? No, sorry. You can ask for help. You can always ask for help if you want. First of all, I'm not sure if you know what pseudocode means. I will look at your screenshot a little bit later. But only if you follow me. No, just kidding. DevAngels, did you mean library? I guess you can put it in a PR once this is on Git. I just want to get this thing here working, which it should, by the way. Let's just make a new user. The first name will be, well, because I'm gonna, okay, this is what I'm gonna do, because I first want to check if Firebase out of itself supports storing enums, because I'm pretty sure it does. I'm just gonna first remove this and make a new user object in the Firestore database, and see if it can work out the enums on its own. If it can, that'd be really great, then I don't need to write my own stuff for that. So the first name is gonna be Alice, because I've been watching a bunch of Detroit Become Human, and this is gonna be Caraman. So the group reference. Let's just hard code this for a moment. So this is gonna be firestore.instance. .collection, and then we want the group collection, and then we want the document called test group. That's that. What else do we need? And a status. So this is where our user status will go. Import that. This guy is she's away because she's not home because, well, spoilers. She does not use Slack. She does use WhatsApp, and she does not use Zoom. Okay, and now we're gonna save that when we click on the raise button. Okay. Are we in a scaffold? Yes, we are. Then scaffold, or what's that called? That bottom bar thing? Whatever, let's just debug print that. User created. Cool. The save method is exactly what it's supposed to be. Yeah, okay, cool. So now let's keep our Firebase in the holes. That's Dutch. Doesn't really work in English. Yeah, int is not a subtype of thingy. But now, the only thing we want to check... snack bar or tab bar? Yeah, the bottom thing, like the black thing that comes up with white text, usually. It needs a scaffold for that. Is that a snack bar? Oh yeah, because toasting is the pop-up and snack bar is the thing. Thank you, that's correct. Yeah, there you go. Get the scaffold, show a snack bar, new snack bar with content. Thank you. That's it. Well, now I gotta use it, since people have told me how to do it. I can actually... Can I just... Hey! Your code works! Good work, dev. As always. User created. Okay, cool. So now... What we want to see, and this is the moment of truth, boys and girls, and helicopters, is we want to click on this button. Yeah, that will fill. And click. And we've got a bunch of errors. Hell yeah. So OnTap has an error. Widget scaffold, blah, blah, blah. Scaffold up was called in the context that does not use scaffold, but it's right here. Hey, what's up? CMGIO, Comgio, I guess. Not sure. Thanks for the follow, though. I appreciate it. You see the database? Yeah, I know. It will only work if the context is inside of a scaffold. It is, though. Oh, wait. Because the context is... I get it. Okay, whatever. We'll just debug print it. I know you only see the database right now. That's on purpose, because we want to see the actual record pop up as it does. But wait, that means that the user should already be there. It's just the scaffold that fucked up. Right? Why is it not there? I know, like... It need to be there. Very nice. Let's refresh. And to refresh these. So let's go to our database. Go to users. Is it there? Nope. Okay. Hey! Here we go. Remote. Ooh, I like that 3 there. Thanks for the follow. Very nice. So, we've restarted that. Click. Oh, we got an error still. Okay, so user created, unhandled exception, invalid argument, user status. Yeah. So the Firebase codec is complaining since it doesn't understand the enumerator. I could have sworn I used an enumerator before. Huh. Maybe Firebase, Cloud, Firestore, Flutter, enumerator. Just want to check, make sure I'm not insane. Cloud, Firestore. You can actually see all the data types that are supported, I believe. Enum. Oh, enum is not even here. Okay, cool. Yeah, we can put a yeah. That's the trick you told me. We can put a builder in here, and then we'd be all Gucci for making a scaffold thing. You to map just return your status of index. Oh, that's correct. And then we yeah. Okay. So we do need to do all that mapping. So this can stay as it is, and then we want to restore this. And then this will be the status.index. There we go. So now it should just work in general, but then, yeah, because this will still work. Okay, cool. So let's refresh. Our first user should be there as well. Tried calling add on an instance. Okay, method add was called on null. Users. Yeah, you're still seeing the thing. Okay, there we go. Also seems to be not code. Yeah, I realized that. I am a professional streamer, you see. Let me just quickly skip to the next song. Debugging is boring when you see it to be. Certainly. It's just talk. basically. So let me check the stream health. Oh, we're doing fine. So what are we seeing? Method app was called on null because we got null back. Huh. This is a stream? I thought it was static JPEG. As we would say in Dutch, oui. Which means, oh boy. Kind of. So we're calling add on null. Where are we calling add? Not here, so it's in our thingy. Our mapper right here. Result. Oh, this needs to be this needs to be a new list. There we go. Okay, and go. Yay! New error. Very nice. I like. Build functions must never return null because we haven't put a return statement in it. I fucking guarantee you. There we go. Now we return. And users. There we go. So there's just one. And that's correct. And now the cool thing is we click on create new user. There's our new user live from the database. Fuck yeah. Okay, cool. That works. So we can actually just generate new users on the spot right now. What we could do to create new users, to create like example stuff, we can use the English words stuff. This is stream. I thought it was a static. Yeah. Oh, right. Because yeah, I said that after. Yeah, there's really not that much delay. We can actually just count it. 1, 2, 4, 5. 5.5 seconds. That's the delay. So that's really good. Like in the olden days of Twitch, it was like full minute at best, right? But now it's really nice. I did put my stream on like low latency, so people can ask questions and get answers quickly that way. So there we go. So now we can just create new users right there and there. Okay, so let me just. Do we want to make like a bunch of test users? We could, because we have 2 Alice Caramans now, and also because this is all live, we can go to our Firebase and delete one of these records. Delete document, click, and boom, it's gone. That's the cool thing about Stream Builders. So because we want to keep having everything in our app live and up to date, right? That's why we don't want to throw away the reference in our user object, because then we don't have anything to update the actual user again, ever. So I wonder if the reference object, let me just check something real quick. User dot, oh sorry, current user dot reference dot, can I could say like update, right? I could do that. And then get all the new. Nah, that would be unnecessary, especially with Stream Builders, because we would get all the data and remodel or make it all again. So, cool. So now that we have our test DB, I think we are almost done with this episode. Then that would be really nice. We've made some big progress in a short amount of time. So. We could do cloud functions. Is the group? Let's make this for the groups as well. So we're just gonna actually return the exact same thing, but just for the groups this time. So that's Stream Builder right there, and then replace this with this, which is basically the exact same thing, but this will be group. You just change that probably. User group, current group, and now these fields are all different. So this will, yeah, this will be fine. So first name will now be members. This will be, or let's just make this name. And picture URL. Okay, cool. And now we just need to make this function right here, which will be the same as the user function. So list group. Oh, and that's it actually. Cool. I think that's it. The only thing we need to change is this will be. Oops. That has an error. List of dynamic is not a subtype of list of document reference. That's correct. Hey, Vibex 100. There we go. Didn't you follow me already? Well, doesn't matter. Welcome.
Thank you. I like. Very good. It's nice when people do follow because I don't get the monies yet, but I can apply for Twitch to get the monies and I can keep doing because I like.
So let's see. So in Dart 2, we actually need to do list casting. You didn't need to do that in Dart 1, but now we do. So as list wouldn't work because it would still complain for a subtype, so we need to do a list.cast. So we need to go to, where are we at? Right here. From snapshot. I'm gonna offend some people with that. List.from. Oh, casts. It's list type, right? So that will be cast from, and then we just put in the data types, right? It's going to be dynamic, and that's going to be document reference, right? Because it's heavier. It was already fine. That's weird. Well, now you're also in the video, so congrats. You your username will live forever. Okay. No, it should work. I don't see why not. There we go. See, it's doing fine. Now the only thing we need to change is tell this to text align on the center. There we go. Now refresh this. Now look at that. Isn't that beautiful? That's lovely. Right there. Cool. That is some lovely variables. Oh, that is beautiful. That word variables in like a Scottish accent, right? Variables. Try and speak English with Scottish accent. Breakthroughs! What's up? How are you doing? I was just having some fun with my mates. You're right, Voluptus. That is Scottish. Probably doing the Scottish people a huge disservice by doing that, but whatever. Brainfrews, message me on Telegram. Tell me how you're doing. What's up? I won't read it in a short while, but
I want to stay up to date.
Okay, cool. So we have those models. Now we just want. Let's see what's up next. I haven't actually written that much in my to-dos for today. Yeah, let's set up the cloud functions. So what we want to do is every time a user. Let's see, how are we going to do this? So, because basically, okay, so we have these user objects, and they have a group reference, a reference to what group they're in. And then we have these group objects, a collection of groups, and each one of those also contains a list of the members. So what we want to do is keep those in sync. You might be wondering, why are we saving them twice? Because if we only save them in the user collection, then we have to go by each user and then see, okay, are you in this group? Yes or no? Okay, cool, next, right? It's a whole bunch of hassle. Just, but if you save it twice, then you can just look, oh, this group has these members. Nice, so we don't have to calculate that. And the same goes for a group. If you only save it in group, then they don't know what group that user is in. You have to check all the groups and then find the user that is in there. So we're just gonna make sure that that those groups and user groups stay in sync. So, and after that, I think we'll be done. Maybe we can do a cloud function all the time. Nah, let's do it. Let's finish this. Okay, so this now works properly. Let's make a create new group button as well, just for good measure. Let's make a bit of padding here. There we go. Well, let's just put padding around this, right? At padding, it's gonna be well, all, sure. There we go. That's a bit better. And then make the same thing again. But put that here. But again, this is all temporary. So don't actually use this for a UI. Don't. How's it going, dude? Hey Jay, I'm going to start Zoom in 75 minutes, 30 minutes past the hour. Come say hi to the audience. I sure will. I'm planning on finishing this and then join you as soon as I can. So let's call this test group and then add the add like the seconds of daytime build now. Or like milliseconds. Since epoch or yeah. Whatever. Name, and then we have a members, and we'll just make a an empty list and just get like one of these users in here. Users dot or user dot collection name dot document, and then we can put the idea in here. Yeah, the path. So the only path that we need to provide is the actual ID, so let's put test user in there. So that's that. And the group reference, oh, these all don't exist. The only thing that we need to specify now is the picture URL. And let's make that like a picture of a cute dog. Oh, puppies! Just have a look at. Oh, I made copyright. Whatever. Look at this. It's so cute. So good. Okay, let's put that in here. Whoa, that's a tad long. Can I get an actual, like an actual good extension for this? Non-HX. What's this? JPEG. There we go. Way better. So the group created. Test group, blah, blah, blah. We have a reference, document, get that document. Okay, this should be all good and well. Oh, this still says create new user. Let's fix that. Create new group. And click. There we go, new group. Why can't I scroll? I fucked something up, clearly. Oh, look at this! They're two semicircles fighting, I guess. FK BRB 15. I need food. BRB. Wow. You're still him, but it sounds like you'd be done before then. Don't sneak in a Game Grumps reference without me, bro. Yeah, bro. Totally. Thanks for the booze, man. I'm gonna get so wasted. Oh, good times. But wait, without me, you're here though, Brain Fruit. Like, don't complain, you're here. Okay, so we got that, and oh, let's actually display the. Let's not do a picture URL. Let's just display the actual picture. Right? Image.network, and then the source is gonna be the current group picture URL. Yay! Image! And I can't see the next one because my coding is shit. Cool. We can reverse this though. Wait, if we reverse this, can we then see my... Yay! There's the other one. So that works. It's ugly, but it works. So I can't scroll in the general... Oh, there we go. You just have to like pick your point very carefully. And now I'm locked, I think. Yeah, can't do this anymore. So, oh, let me just put this into a column. That would fix this. Maybe I'll do the other thing. So that means that requires a lot of refactoring. Oh, okay, let me do that real quick. Make this into a column. Okay, that should work. It doesn't work. Oh, because this needs to be converted to a list first, because map turns an iterator. There we go. There we go. Now we can scroll this properly. Same goes for that list view over here. Where you at? Is this it? Yeah. So remove that. Get rid of that one. Put this in. I'm doing this completely out of order, but so this is going to be a column, and the children is going to be. But I can have it both ways. Ooh, long arrow. That's cool. So that's going to be. Where we get? Oh, snapshot.data.map. Like that, and then we have our current user, and then just finish that. There, finishes that one. This wants to know for sure that this will be a widget. There. No, it needs to be a list. Haha. Not that one. Which one is it? This one. There we go. Now we can zoom properly. Ayo. Column. Main exercise. Minimal. Let's copy that over to this column as well. And make sure that that. Save, go. Okay, now we can actually scroll. Create new group. Bam! New group. Woo! Cool. Okay, so we got this working. Cool. I think I'll stick to this for now. So next time we're gonna do cloud functions to make sure that the groups inside the user, the group inside the user object. Excuse me, that the group inside the user record in the database, that is kept up to date with the list of members in the group objects in the database. And I think that's it. Let me just go over the add physics, cons never scrollable scroll physics. Oh, or make it into column. I think I have a new PR coming. Add item builder to row and column. Ha! Yeah, that may be quite smart to get an item builder in there. But then that will be almost like the same as just a list view builder without scroll physics. But then, oh, the column does say that it overflows whenever it does, and a list view doesn't, since it assumes that you can scroll. That's the difference. Yeah, okay. Oh well. Yeah, go ahead. So I'll upload this code right now. So what have we done? Added models and link to Fire. Added models from Cloud, Firestore, added test UI. So that's that. I think that will be all. Yeah, I think that's that. Okay, cool. So I'm going to commit that, push that. So yeah, that's that. Thank you all guys for watching. Again, if you want to follow the next episode of this fun little series, then do be sure to follow. I don't really like asking like for please follow and stuff, but yeah, if it's just an option. If you want to stay up to date, then follow. It's the easiest way to get an email or a notification when I stream again. I do, if you are interested, I do put up like a thing where I say, oh, I'm going to stream in like an hour or this late at this time on Twitter as well. So at GenericTyping, if you want to know more about that and know about updates in general that don't reach it to Twitch. Yeah, and if you have any questions, just you can always reach me. I love to take any questions. I'm also on Gitter, on the Flutter Gitter here and there. So I answer questions on there often. So yeah, thanks a lot. And next time, Cloud Functions and some UI. That almost rhymes. Ooh, would be too good to be true. Thanks for watching again. Bye.